Every business leader wants growth, but growth can be elusive, especially in these challenging and uncertain times. Does my guest today have the answer for that you seek? Welcome to this BVTV Aligning the Dots Trilogy, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. My guest today is the author of Aligning the Dots, the new paradigm to grow any business. He claims his thinking and concepts can bring a dramatic result of an average of 38.7% revenue growth. Now, who wouldn't want that in these times? So let's go meet business growth expert, Dr. Philippe Bouissou. Hello, Philippe.
Hello, Malcolm.
And let's just get that right. Have I got Bouissou right? Did I say it right?
It's Bouissou, but that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Well, it's important because it's like anything to do with growth. The more personal we are as well about it, people just don't want to see businesses today that are impersonal in growth, do they?
Yeah, they absolutely do. Yes, that's absolutely right.
Philippe, every business leader watching or listening to this knows that growth is key. It's said that if you're not growing, you're likely dying. So why do businesses not achieve their growth ambitions? What are the key factors holding them back? Is it lack of a clear vision and strategy, unrealistic goals, or the wrong people and culture? What is it? And how should leaders go about overcoming this underachievement?
Well, the reason businesses don't grow as they expect is because there is a lack of fundamental understanding of why they are not growing. And the traditional ways to address the challenge of growth typically, and in my experience, don't really work. And the reason is that because they are based on emotions, they are not based on data. And, the reaction is to say, well, our salespeople are not doing their job. Let's just change the sales force. Or, well, we don't have the right features. We need to build more features because our competitors have them. Or, we need to spend more on marketing, or we need to change our positioning, our language, our logo. And all those things, might be valid, but in most of the cases, they don't really work. And again, they don't really work because there is no fundamental understanding of why the business is not growing.
So how do they go about then finding why it's not growing?
Well, they have to understand that it's all about alignment. The reason a business is not achieving its growth potential, it's because it's not quite well aligned or aligned enough with its target market, but also internally. And to understand how to align your business with your target market, it's all about understanding who fundamentally your prospects are, why they should buy, why they should care, why they should choose you over competition. And it's really all that fundamental understanding that will fix those misalignments. And then by better aligning, you will grow faster, which, by the way, is the only way, in my opinion, to create real and sustainable shareholder value. I don't know any other way than growing the business faster than its target market.
Yeah. So, the being out of alignment, do you think it's mostly internal or mostly external? I always remember back here in the UK, many, many years ago, one of the first business TV shows was called The Troubleshooter. And Sir John Harvey Jones was the presenter. And he was saying, I can always tell when a business is set for growth because when I talk from the rawest recruit right to the top, they know what they're about and where they're going to. So he felt it was internal rather than external. What's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, the answer is that it's both. And you have to start with the external alignment, because if you don't fundamentally understand what market you want to target, because you have to focus, and how you're going to go about, winning that market and beating your competition, and why are you different, and why are you unique? Why is this hard to replicate what you have? If you don't have that external alignment, regardless of how well you're internally aligned, you will just not grow as fast. Then once you understand what you need to do to externally align your business with your target market, then you can look internally and say, okay, do we have the right organization? Do we understand the why and our mission? What is our purpose? Why do we wake up in the morning? And then you can start to address the internal alignment which is key to execute the external alignment. But I would say that's sequential. You have to start with the market and then internally.
Yeah. Well, in these changings, constantly changing and uncertain times, surely that alignment has got to be real time. It's got to be continuously updated because things change so quickly, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So there are two dynamics. One is that the market is changing constantly because of new innovation, new companies entering the market, new ways to think about a problem, new business models, like Airbnb, for example, going after the hospitality industry. So you have to have your antennas out and really understand what is happening in the market, and then reevaluate your external alignment because you need to adapt to the market. And at the same time, I would even say that because of COVID and other dynamics, the internal culture and the internal way of doing business has dramatically changed. And so you have to really understand also those changes and adapt if you want to recruit and retain the best, people. And so you're absolutely right. It's an ongoing fight. It never stops, and you have to be diligent. And if you become complacent, then your competition is going to take over and it's going to win.
Yeah. And I suppose another thing is that, you talk about having your antenna out there and the radar out there. You've got to watch because some people can outflank you, can't you? Competitors can outflank you. So how wide an antenna? I know I'm not talking geographically about that. How wide an antenna do you think you need to have?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a kind of a conflicting answer in a way. The antenna has to be wide. In other words, you have to listen to any signal, but you want to filter out the noise. At the same time, you as a business have to be extremely focused. And so you focus on one market segment, one ICP, which is the ideal customer profile, one value prop. And you said, okay, I'm going to really win there, and then I can expand the business. But as you're focusing on that market segment and that value prop, then your antenna in terms of, who's doing what to whom outside that could jeopardize my business has to be pretty broad. You have to listen to all those signals and figure out which one will actually affect your business.
Brilliant. Thanks, Philippe. Now, let's give viewers and listeners details of your book's URL, its website, which obviously viewers you can see on the screen behind me. But for listeners, let me spell it all out. It's all the W's, aligning the dots.com. All the W's, aligning the dots.com. Philippe's book is called Aligning the Dots, the new paradigm to grow any business, and it's published by Onward Business Press in both hardcover and e-book format. I've proudly got it on a digital shelf in my BizVision e-library, so I can access it anywhere. It really is that valuable if growth is your quest. And now, Philippe, I hear that your Think is now a TV series, so tell us about it, please.
Yeah, so we launched a new TV series, which is distributed by C-Suite Networks out of New York. It's a series which is based on the book. And what I do is I interview a CEO of a company for 30 minutes and in real time analyze their alignment, external and internal. And then I come with a growth playbook. So I actually tell them what to do based on the discussion and the information that they shared with us. And then the idea is to invite them back 6 to 9 months later and say, okay, well, we told you to do X, Y, and Z. Did you do it and did it work? So we want to kind of close the loop of giving some directions and then talking back to the CEO to figure out whether they listened to the advice or not and did it work or not, most importantly.
Yeah. And how can viewers access that TV series?
Well, they can go to the C-Suite Network URL, or they can go to bluedotspartners.com, and that's bluedotspartners.com, which is the firm that I am co-managing with a partner. And they will actually find the episodes there. We just taped our third episode last week. So
sounds exciting.
We're pretty excited.
I tell you what, C-Suite Network and BVTV, I don't know what's next, Philippe. In episode 2, I'm going to ask Philippe about his A4 precision alignment methodology. And in episode 3, we'll talk about maintaining alignment. For now, thanks, Philippe, for a great episode 1.
Thank you. Thank you, Malcolm.